Hello there, I'm Crystal and welcome to my channel, My Social Thread. Today I thought I would share with you my Make 9 plans, and I'm sure most of you know it's an Instagram challenge that was started a couple of years ago now, and basically what sewists do is they choose 9 garments that they'd like to sew over the year, which is obviously less than 1 garment a month, which is doable, and they just share their plans at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year they do a summary roundup to let you know whether or not they completed that challenge, and show you all their beautiful makes. So the first garment I'd like to make is the Sew Over Ava Skirt, and I bought that pattern as part of the Guthrie and Garney Sewing Society kit, and in there you receive the PDF pattern printed out for you, which is great. You get the PDF obviously emailed to you as well, and a tutorial on how to sew along, I suppose, on how to make the skirt. You also get the fabric. They had 3 choices for this box, and the one I went for was this teal jumbo cord in a leopard print. You also get the coordinating exposed zip. Now the original Ava skirt tells you to insert an invisible zip, but Lauren has added in her tutorial a way of inserting an exposed zip just for that extra bit of detail, which I think is really, really nice actually. You also get a coordinating thread. Oh, I've got 2 threads there. I don't believe you get 2 threads. That's possibly one of my own ones, but you get a coordinating Gutterman thread. You also get a bar and hook for the closure. You get needles, interfacing, pocket bags, and a lovely label that you could insert into your garment, which says made by me with G&G, which is lovely. Just to say about the pocket bags, I probably will not be adding pockets because they are just inseam pockets at the side, and I think that will add a sort of extra volume to the hips, which I don't particularly like. I may put patch pockets at the front. I could sort of get that from the Camden skirt, Nina Lee's Camden skirt, or the Megan Nielsen Matilda dress, or just sort of draft my own patch pockets at the front. So I haven't decided quite yet on what to do with that. The second garment that I'd like to make on my Make 9 list is the Nina Lee London Camden skirt. This is the pattern here, and you can choose to make the pinafore dress or the skirt, and I'm going to go for the skirt option. I am going to lengthen my skirt a bit because I quite like my skirts to be just below the knee, and the fabric I have chosen for that is a lovely dark green, forest green jumbo cord, again from Fabric Godmother. Now with the Camden skirt, it is a lined skirt, but I'm not sure I'm going to line mine, only because, well, first of all, I don't have lining fabric, and second of all, I have got ready to wear cord skirts already in my wardrobe, and they're not lined, and I've had no problem with them sort of riding up with my tights or getting sort of staticky to my tights. So I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to line it, but I will make that decision at some point. The third garment that I'd like to make is the Sarah shirt. This was a pattern that I got free from the Simply Sewing magazine when I used to subscribe. I no longer do. But it's an original by hand London pattern. And the reason that I chose this pattern is I quite like the Peter Pan collar here. And then it's got a bishop sleeve with gathers at the sleeve head. And it's a button down blouse. And if you see in the line drawings here, line drawings, you've got sort of a yoke at the back and a gather as well. I quite like that shirt. I don't really have shirt blouse. What's the difference? I'm not sure. If you know the difference between a shirt and a blouse, please do comment below for me. And the fabric that I've chosen for that is this lovely viscose fabric from Lady McElroy. It's I think it's called Dotty About Dot, and it's in their claret colorway, which is like a dark almost browny burgundy wine colour with a white polka dot. I was thinking of doing a contrast collar, but I thought actually I prefer it to be all in the same fabric, and I'll maybe get I think I'll go for the burgundy buttons rather than the white buttons to go with that. Just to say about the Sarah shirt, I haven't made anything from By Hand London before, but I did go onto their website to check if this pattern was on their online shop. And what I found was the pattern is on their shop. It's called something different, and it is something different. It's called the Sarah shirt dress, and instead of the Peter Pan collar, it has a normal collar with a collar stand, or the other option is to have a pussy bow tie. So they're the two options for the necklines. It still has the short sleeve and the long sleeve versions, and then it also is a blouse pattern, but you can extend it to make it into a dress pattern. And I was just wondering why the pattern they included in the magazine, they must have made that especially for this collaboration, because it isn't on their online shop. And so I sent them a quick email, and I was just asked them that question, like, why didn't they sort of put the original pattern in with a magazine collaboration? Because I do know So Over It and Tilly and the Buttons have collaborated with many a magazine before, and the patterns they include in the magazines are the same pattern that you can buy in their shop. So anyhow, I've just thought I'd let you know that. Make number 4 is the Patina Blouse, and I've planned to make that in this beautiful very flowy, very drapey Lady McElroy fabric. It's a black base with a beautiful bouquets, clusters of bouquet of flowers on there, and all the colours are just lovely and vibrant. You've got red, oranges, pinks, blues, and some greens. And I think this would make a really lovely patina blouse. I'm going to go for the long sleeve version, bishop sleeve version. And online I noticed that there is a tutorial on how to change the depth of the V-neck, which is quite nice. So you can have sort of the normal V-neck, you can have it slightly higher, and then sort of another one that's slightly higher still. And I think that's lovely that pattern companies are doing that, because obviously not everybody's different, everybody's preferences and tastes are different, and also everybody's sort of body shapes are different. So I think that's quite nice that you have the option to change the depth of the V-neck should you wish. And also I was just going to say that with this fabric you can sort of wear it with so many different things because of all the colours that are in there. And I just thought my Camden skirts that I wanted to make, that forest green would go nicely with that as well. So that's nice. So that's 2 skirts down and 2 blouses down. My next make number 5 is the By Hand London Sarah dress, believe it or not. So after all of that kerfuffle about sort of the Sarah shirt dress not being the pattern that was included in the Simply Sewing magazine, I did actually really like the pattern online. And I was thinking I could just hack the Sarah shirt and turn it into the dress myself. But then I thought I wanted the pussy bow option, and I just wanted the lines to be correct, and I didn't want to spend extra time sort of drafting that dress myself when I could just sort of buy it online. And so I've bought that pattern now, and for that pattern I have chosen a lovely viscose. It's a pale pink viscose with a black leopard print, and it's beautifully drapey, which I think will work really nicely with that pattern. This fabric I bought from Abercan Fabrics, and it was very inexpensive, and I've got 4 meters of that, which this pattern needs I think about 3.5 meters for the long sleeve version. And I plan to make the pussy bow tie in black, probably viscose or a ribbon or something, so that would be like a nice contrast to the whole dress, and maybe pink buttons so that only the pussy bow tie stands out and not all the buttons as well. The next garment that I'd like to make number 6, is the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra shirt dress. Now this is one of my favorite patterns to date. It is, I really like it because I do like a good collar. I think it really suits myself, and I enjoy wearing a collar on a shirt dress. I haven't yet made shirts, but I do have a shirt on this make 9 list. I also like the fact that it's the button down placket. I like that. I have an 8-month-old baby that I'm currently still breastfeeding, and so I require garments that have easy nursing access, so sort of v-necks, wrap dresses, tops obviously because you could just pull tops and sweatshirts up, and shirt dresses are sort of the things that I tend to make. Also with a Lyra dress, I quite like the fact that it's a loose bodice, so you can wear it loose if you want to, and you can tie it. It comes with waist ties that I don't actually do. I just add a belt, different sort of coordinating belts with the fabrics to cinch in the waist, and I think it's a lovely shape for a dress in general, but also for the postpartum figure. It's great when you know, just after you've had the baby, and obviously you know you have a postpartum figure, and as you lose your baby weight, if you want to lose that baby weight, you can cinch it in with a belt or the waist tie, or you can leave it loose, so you can wear it in many different ways. And also obviously it's got the lovely tiers, which you can play around with. You can do, you know, you can multiply the tiers, you can shorten the tiers, you can lengthen the tiers, so it is quite a versatile pattern. And this time round, I want to make a long sleeve version, which I haven't yet made, of the Lyra. And I think because it's still winter here in the United Kingdom, I think a long sleeve Lyra would be quite nice to wear, so that I don't have to worry about, you know, choosing a coordinating cardigan to go with the dress because it has the long sleeves. And the fabric I've chosen for that is this beautiful, oh, bear with me, William Morris print. I have actually already cut out the Lyra, and so I'm just showing you remnants of the fabric. It is the popular Strawberry Thief print by William Morris, and I bought this from Just Fabrics. And William Morris is obviously known for their fabrics, upholstery mainly, and I think curtains, that sort of thing. But Just Fabrics, they do a smaller scale of the William Morris, especially for dressmaking, in a cotton, which is really lovely. I'm glad I actually found that website because I adore that print, and I think a long sleeve Lyra would look really nice in that. My next garment that I want to make, number 7, is the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt. I want to make the standard sweatshirt and not the tunic or dress version, so the standard sweatshirt. And you've got 2 options with the sleeves. You've got the regular slim sleeves, or you've got the puffy shoulder head bishop type sleeve. I've seen many vloggers, make the bishop sleeve, and I think the feedback on that is that they found that the puffy shoulder head sleeve head just wasn't for them, and I think I would feel the same as well with that. So what they have done, they have hacked the sleeve, so they've joined the 2 together. So they've chosen the slim shoulder head, the slim sleeve head, and they've graded it out to the bishop sleeve. So I think that's quite a nice compromise, and that's what I'm going to go for as well. And the fabric I've chosen for that is a lovely fleece back sweatshirting, and this is by this is by Sew Me Sunshine, and it's got a lovely, if you can see that on the camera, lovely cozy fleece back. It's a navy base with white flowers and pink detailing with sort of a mustard caramel leaf, and I've bought sort of contrasting ribbing to go with that, so that will match the sleeves, the leaves. And so yeah, that's that one. The next garment I'd like to make, garment number 8, is the Page Hoodie by Chalk and Notch. And this is actually not a make for myself, it's a make for my daughter. And I've got this lovely loop back French terry. Let me just show you the loop back. Lovely loop back French terry. and it's in a lovely marbled marble design. I'm just going to stand up for you. So it's got gold in there, some blush pink, greens, blues, beiges, and I think that will work really nicely for a page hoodie for my daughter. I've never made that pattern before, as is with all the patterns actually, apart from the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. The next garment I'd like to make, garment number 9, is actually a coat. So I've got the Burda 6378. That's the one that I'd like to make. I'd like to make this view, so just a longer length view, and it's got like a lovely wide lapel and a waist tie, so it's a wrap coat, which is a great style of coat to make for if you're a beginner or you don't do that many coats, because obviously the fit isn't going to be that much of an issue. The line drawings are here. I think the different variations are just the length, and also they have like a seam here at the waist, which I'm going to get rid of, or not at the waist, sort of at the hip area, which I don't particularly like, so I'm just going to cut the pieces out as one piece and omit the seam allowance there. And the fabric that I've chosen for that, this is a really, really nice one. Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn did a designer dead stock fabric drop a month ago, I believe, either November, December. And they were doing dead stock fabric from Ted Baker. And I managed to get this beautiful lilac purple wool coating in a herringbone weave, and it's ex Ted Baker. Purples, blues, beiges, and it's beautiful quality. I'll hold it up. And I thought that would make a beautiful coat. And the price was really, really good, and I was so glad that I managed to get some. So glad, in fact, that I also got it in the pink colourway. So this is, again, herringbone, sort of a dark pink with white, a white weave in there. And again, that's ex Ted Baker, dead stock, 100% wool. And the lining that I've chosen is this Peter Horton cotton lawn. I think I've spoken about this before in another vlog. So that's from Peter Horton. And together, if I show you the fabrics together, I just think that the colours just go so well together. So there are lilac-y colours here that are being picked up, and it's just sort of matching that, but also contrasting it, because obviously it's a different pattern and it's got a lighter base background colour, and I think those two will go so nicely together, and I'm really looking forward to making that coat. The only reason why I haven't really dived into this project is because I know with coat making there are other sort of items that you need. I mean, maybe you could comment below. I'm not sure if you actually need them necessarily. So for example, the wooden clapper that people use, so when you iron your seams on wool, you put the wooden clapper on top and you keep it there for a couple of minutes until the fabric has gone cold, and that sets your seam and it gives you a lovely flat seam, which just makes your coat look so much more professionally made than if you weren't to use a clapper. I think the seams would sort of bounce up a bit, and so your coat will just look quite bouncy, if that makes sense. But I've also heard from other people that they've just basically used really old heavy books instead of a clapper to go on top and wait for the seams to set that way. So I'm not really sure if I want to invest sort of £20 to £25 on a wooden clapper. Also, the ironing hams for the shoulders and the sleeve ironing hams, they're called, or sleeve rolls. So you put sort of the sleeve roll inside the sleeve and you iron it that way, because it's quite hard to iron it otherwise. I'm not sure whether that's necessary either. So please do comment below if you think I should get those items before I embark on my coat making. So that was my Make 9 wish list, but I did just want to add one extra item, and I didn't include it in the Make 9 because although it's sort of crafty, it's not actually sewing on a machine as such, and it is the leather needle thread bag kit, and I have chosen the bucket bag. And the kit is lovely. It comes all in a lovely box, and in it you get everything you need to make the bag. And I went for the sort of burgundy wine colorway. This is the side of the bag. You get 2 pieces like this, and then you get the bottom of the bag, and then you have various bits of leather that is used to weave through the pre-made holes to construct your bag, and then they're tied off or finished off with metal grommets that you hammer in. You also get the tools for the grommet fixing, which is nice. You obviously don't get the hammer, but I'm sure you can source that. Everybody can source that from home. So you get this little grommet sort of a setting kit and other bits and bobs. And the kit is actually quite expensive online normally, but I believe in December they were doing a seconds sale. So the leathers that had maybe a flaw or some discoloration, or maybe just something that wasn't perfect with the fabric, with the leather, they sold it as part of their seconds kit. So I thought, yes, let's grab that, because it was just above half price for the seconds kit. And I was looking online, and I really wanted this wine color, but they didn't have it in stock. And so I contacted the lovely ladies at Leather Needle Thread, and they said they would have a look around in their warehouse, and lo and behold, they found one. Now, the only one that they could find was the leather that had already been made into a sample bag, but for some reason or other they never used it further than making it for a sample for photography and stuff. And then they disassembled the bag, and they just had kind of left it to one side. And so because it was already made, not only was it a seconds, but it was also made up already, they gave it to me for less than half price for the whole kit. So that is been used already, so that's why it's got sort of the creases in it where it's been made into a bag already. So the 3 main leather pieces are seconds, but sort of the straps, the grommets, all the weaving leather, that's all brand new in the kit. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to making that. And I've seen quite a lot of people on Instagram that have made several of their bags. They have different bags, crossbody bags. They do little purses that you can actually customize with various bits. But yeah, that's the last thing that I wanted to add onto my Make 9 challenge. Just before I go, I just thought I'd say that I am wearing Me Made again today. I'm wearing the Tilly in the Buttons Freya top in the long sleeve version with a cowl neck, and that is from the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book, and I'll pop up a picture up there. And with that, I'm also wearing my Jennifer Lauren Pippi pinafore, and I've chosen the fabric for the Freya top is just a Pontoroma, inexpensive Pontoroma from Colville Fabrics on Facebook, who are unfortunately no longer trading. It was inexpensive, and I can see why it was inexpensive, because it has already started to bubble. Although, to be fair, I have had it for a while, but it's always a shame when you make something, you put all the effort and time into making something, and the garment doesn't last, or the fabric doesn't last. I mean, the garment has lasted well, it's just the fabric hasn't lasted the washing and the wearing. With regards to the Pippi pinafore, I have chosen a wool mix, brown beige herringbone fabric. Let me just see. There you go. And the Pippi pinafore is a slightly different pinafore, because instead of using buckles, which most sort of pinafores and dungaree patterns use, she's gone for a different option, and it basically is a buttonhole that you put through there, and then you put the straps through, and you can either have a button of your choice there, but I've chosen to go for brass prim snaps for a different look, and I think it also coordinates with the fabric quite nicely. And also, what was I going to say? Oh, it's got deep pockets, lovely deep pockets, top stitch patch pockets, a waistband, and closure using the same snaps that I used for the straps, and I'll pop up a picture as well up there for you. And that's it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like my content, please consider subscribing below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.